Hello, this is the trade site Forex market preview and international economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 10th of December, ending Friday, the 15th. Triple expiration stocks, stock options, commodities, currencies, everything expiring on Friday for the end of the year here. So let's take a look at the daily chart of the dollar index here. Kind of went up late in the week after being fairly flat. Really hasn't gone anywhere for a few months. We've been sitting here since July. Not super exciting for Forex. Euro dollar is obviously the inverse of that. We've got the 13 sell signal back at the beginning of September was the high of the year. So that pretty much nailed that. The pound dollar didn't do much this last week either, and it's been stuck in basically a, let's call it 1,000 pip range since April, which isn't that big. Aussie dollar dropped a little bit this week, got a 13 buy signal on Thursday. So keep that in mind. Pound yen, looking for a breakout here. 13 sell signal a couple days ago. You can see the risk line. That's the pink line. Watch that. Euro yen. Look how flat this thing's been. 13 sell signal about a month ago. Still under the pink risk line. No action. Pound Swiss made new highs at one point this week. Let's look at the intra-week action. So this is 30-minute candles. You can see on the euro dollar, high to low for the week is 130 pips. That's usually average daily range. So we get that action in one day, and instead it took a whole week, and it was just a slow drift. Really boring week in the euro dollar. There's not much to be done when it looks like that. Here's the pound dollar. High to low is about 220 pips. Most of it's less than that, about 100 pips for most of the week. I mean, it really wasn't that exciting. We had a couple winners, a couple losers. It doesn't add up to much when there's no action in the market. So let's just focus on what's coming out in the week ahead, and then we'll get to it. As again, I said we have triple expiration, so Friday should be dead. Thursday night going to Friday should be dead, and then we're heading into the holidays after that. Sunday, just a couple of numbers out of Japan. Monday, preliminary machine tool orders out of Japan, Italian retail sales, U.S. jolt to job openings, and then the 10-year bond auction here. Japan's PPI, Australia's HIA new home sales and housing price index that night. Tertiary industry activity out of Japan at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. French final private payrolls on Tuesday. M2 money supply and new loans from China on Tuesday. UK's CPI, PPI, RPI, and housing price index. They put out all their inflationary numbers at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time Tuesday morning. I love that they do those all at once. They're in the UK. That's great. German and broad European zoo economic sentiment 30 minutes after all that. NFIB small business index here in the U.S. PPI here in the U.S. 30-year bond auction here in the U.S. Federal budget balance at 2 p.m. Tuesday here in the U.S. FPI out of New Zealand. Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia. Core machinery orders out of Japan. Foreign direct investment out of China. Wednesday, German final CPI and WPI. Italian industrial production. Unemployment rate out of the UK. Employment change out of Europe. Industrial production out of Europe. Wednesday, we've got the CPI. That's one of our big three, so we'll be half size ahead of that. And also the Fed announcements. We've got a two-day Fed meeting starting Tuesday, so we'll definitely be half size if we even make trade calls Tuesday night. You got to be careful when you got the CPI and the Fed coming out the same day. And then the Fed press conference, of course. That's the last Fed meeting of the year. It'll be interesting to see what they do. MI inflation expectations out of Australia. UK's got the RICS house price balance. Australia's got the unemployment rate and the employment change. Industrial production out of China. Fixed asset investment out of China. Retail sales out of China. Those are all at 9 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday night. Revised industrial production out of Japan. Going into Thursday, French final CPI, manufacturing PMI, and services PMI. Swiss PPI and LIBOR rates, a rate announcement there. German flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers. Same with the broad European sector. Retail sales out of the UK. We've got a rate announcement out of the UK. We've got a rate announcement out of the Bank of Europe. So all the rate announcements are this week. That's a lot. US, UK, European, and Swiss. That's a big deal. Canada, NHPI number. Retail sales out of the US along with our unemployment claims, that's the weekly number, and import-export prices. CB leading index out of the UK at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday morning. Flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers at 9:45 here. Business inventories at 10. Natty gas at 10:30. Japan's got their manufacturing and non-manufacturing index, the Tenkan indices. Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, European trade balance. Manufacturing sales out of Canada, Empire State Manufacturing Index, capacity utilization, and industrial production here in the U.S. That is it. And then we're into the last couple of weeks of the year. We start to hit the holidays, and we'll see what happens. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken the trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. We'll have calls every day this week. Like I said, not much to expect Tuesday night with some big numbers in the Fed announcement Wednesday. Have a great trading week.